Hey, it's Brook Hoover in Frozen, Iowa, in the middle of the heartland. I've got a book that I made about chords. It's called Guitar Chords. And the first thing is chord yoga, which I think some of you have seen me talk about that, or maybe some have bought the book. And even if you already have the book, it's kind of good to go back and remember the sound of these chords. So that's the first chord, E minor 7. Now, I learned to play guitar kind of organically in the 70s, which was kind of a simpler time in some ways, where there weren't so many distractions. We would just kind of sit around and wait for something to happen. But, we just planned for the future by knowing that we would need these chords, and we would learn these sounds and internalize the sounds. I know it sounds kind of touchy-feely, but that's how we learned. I mean, we didn't really know theory. We could read a little bit of music, but it was all by ear, trial and error. So I'm just going back to that simpler time and just checking each string. E minor 7 is a very cool key because a lot of rock and roll, country, classical music, any sort of guitar music, blues, relates to some of these open strings. So when I strum, I try to be kind of mindful and really get into it. I know it's ridiculous, but watch how I drop the pick. From string to string. So I'm trying to be sensitive with it. So I call that E minor 7. That's the first chord in the book. Middle finger's on 5th string, 2nd fret. Hitting all 6 strings. Next chord is A9. I just move over one string and go across 5 strings. That's an A9. And you could maybe connect those two chords. About as simple as it gets. So if you're brand new to guitar or just trying to kind of restart, this might be a good thing to do. All right, second line, we got E minor to A2. Again, same shape. So if you use middle and ring, not index and middle, but middle and ring, that will set you up for future steps. So they are like the same shape, just moved back and forth. And so just get into it. Get that sound in your head. So if you try to learn a new song and it's an A2, you'll be able to identify it immediately, kind of like a color or a number or a shape. It's just something you're going to know, a pattern, a sound. Okay, next is E major to A minor. Massively common shapes on guitar. The E major, middle, ring, index. Make sure each string can ring out. If you get a muted sound like this, then you have to get in there and figure it out. Usually it's kind of rolling around this way a little bit. If you're rolled back, it's going to mute. If you roll forward, get on those tips, they might ring out. All right, A minor is same shape, just hit 5 strings, 1 string over. All right, E7, man. Take that E and drop off your ring finger. Very good for blues and rock and roll. It's an essential chord. E7. make sure that D string doesn't get blocked. This is what people usually do on that. That's why we go really slow. We're just looking for muted strings. And then it's going to be your job to chase that problem down and fix it. And so you're in charge. I'm just giving you an idea here. A minor 7. Same shape, just one string over. Then watch how we get to a C chord. From A minor 7 to C. Add the ring finger on the 5th string, 3rd fret. So a lot of big guitar ideas are going to come from these simple shapes. So this might seem kind of, I don't know, slow moving and all that, or, you know, call it anything you want, simple, whatever. This is where it comes from, the C or the E or A minor. Take that C over to F major 7. Fun. All right, that's like a 3, 2, 1 on the 4th string, 3rd string, 2nd string. Hit only 4 strings. So sometimes students are alarmed by how they have to stretch out to cover 3 frets with your fingers, but start stretching out now because you're going to want to stretch more and more. It's addictive. All right, the bottom row, we got a G chord. That's how I'm going to try to get you to play G. Index, middle, ring, pinky. You're probably learned it like this, or like that, or like that. Okay, but try this. Okay. Now, G is the great campfire song, chord, whatever. I mean, it sounds like a million songs. Bob Dylan, the Beatles, the Stones, and everybody else that's ever heard of those guys. Hank Williams and George Jones and, man, the Carters. Johnny Cash. The Byrds. Every band ever is going to play that G chord. So it's so common I can't even comment anymore. So just take these 2 fingers over one. You got that groovy C chord. That's a C. I call it C2. Call it C add 9 or C suspended 2nd. I don't care. But it does sound nice. Keeping these 2 fingers in place. You can even get to a D, which you'll see on the page. A D suspended 4. See how these 2 fingers stayed the same? And you can just experiment with all of these. Mix these chords any way you want. If it sounds good, it is good. If it sounds weird, maybe that's even better. But yeah, just get really good at page 1. If you've got my chord yoga book, that's what I intend for you to try. These are on eBay. I've got a link in the description, or you can email me and we can arrange payment and all that and shipping. And I'm printing some new ones, but these, I've got a few, maybe one left actually. So yeah, work on your chords. The next page, I have some strum patterns. And then after that, we got the 3 primary chords of the key of A. So A, D, E. Those 3 chords are the 3 primary chords of the key of A. Sort of like a... So yeah, man, there's a million songs with those 3 chords, A, D, E. Now when you play A, I'm going to try to get you to use middle, ring, pinky right in a row. And that might contradict what you've been taught. You probably play index, middle, ring. You can try that, but I'm going to still try to get you back here, middle, ring, pinky. This one, where it's kind of like a little triangle shape. Index on the 3rd string, middle on the 4th, ring on the 2nd string. I don't know. I don't like it. But I can't control everybody. I'm going to still say this is good because you can go A major to A minor. A major to A suspended 4th. A major to A2 or whatever you call it. A suspended 2nd. Then keep these in place, and then you just add extra stuff as you need. So A can also be your pointer finger laying flat, or maybe middle, or ring, or pinky. As you can see, there's a lot of ways to play it. Try them all, but come on back and do middle, ring, pinky. That's my hard sell on that. So I've got some patterns of chords. Pattern, A, D, E, and some 4 examples. On page 2, there's some strumming patterns. And then we just review chords for a few pages. Got a scale on page 6. Patterns of notes going up and down the neck. You got power chords on page 8. Bar chords basics on page 9. More bar chords on page 10. Chords used by the Beatles on page 11. Got some blues progressions on page 12. After that, I'm just showing off by how many chords I can draw. Like all these different E's on page 13. Let's see if I can play them. Nobody gets to page 13. Whoa. I have not played this for a long time. Or check this out. Or whoa. Or just this. Or just this. Or this. Whoa. Or this. 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 That's what I've got on page 13. Just a bunch of E chords, and it goes on to A. It goes in a circle of fourths. E to A to D to G to C. Millions of chords to F, B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat. Then you got B major, and then we have some minors, E minor, A minor, some chord progressions, D minors, G minor, E7, A7, and then chords in keys, chord tone soloing practice, mainly just arpeggios on page 33, circle of fourths and fifths on page 35, and some examples of how to practice with that on the next few pages. Wow. Yeah, and then it just kind of closes out with some just kind of favorite chords. On page 44, there's chord formulas. That's really important stuff. That's how you build chords. So that would be something we would need to work with in person, or I could make a separate video about chord formulas. But once you kind of understand how to make them, it gets pretty, you start really getting into chords. And I got that from a little bit of this knowledge from Ted Green's Chord Chemistry. That's kind of how, that's when I realized I was very ignorant. And this book is pretty chaotic. It's got a lot of chords, like crazy bunch of chords. Kind of a chaotic book, but I realized that I've got some, I only know a tiny bit about music, even though I could play songs pretty well and figure them out by ear. I couldn't really explain it. And so you kind of have to get a little bit of terminology and practice, you know, kind of taking things apart and rebuilding and analyzing songs and being able to tell what key they're in and why the chords work, or harmonies and timing and voicings and inversions, all kinds of interesting things, which I'm just barely skimming the surface. I think I would need to live to be about 900 years old to be able to really understand as much as I want to understand. But in the time we have left, let's spend our time wisely learning as much about guitar and music that we can. Man, I got my pencils all organized today, sharpened, ready to go. Got my ink pens all organized, brushes. I do a lot with like pen and ink. That's what I drew the book out in. So anyway, these books are $20. If you're interested, I got one here. But that helps me out a lot. I have a second book called Fun Things to Practice on Guitar That Sound Cool. Just kind of a fun, crazy book. This one's got a lot of pages. 66 pages of scales, arpeggios, riffs, chord progressions, hot licks, and so forth. So it's kind of nice to have a little, body of work that I can. It makes my teaching easier, and I do earn a little bit of income off this. You know, it costs something to print them and ship them, but I still go straight into my checking account and pays for my utilities and house payment and so forth. So it kind of keeps me able to maintain my marriage and my home. So if you're interested, it really does help me, and I try to help out others, and I donate plenty of time and cash to worthy causes. But this would be, if you want to send some my way, consider you could get both books. So again, just email me at hooverguitar@yahoo. No pressure, but I just thought I would remind you that they're available. So I'm going to go to the school and teach here in a little bit. And thank you again. Good luck working with your chords. I really just want to know people are enjoying their guitars. That's kind of why I do this. Give these big talks. All right. Yeah, I've got a gig. I had a gig last night. I've got a gig Thursday, and then just busy. I think I'm back into like 5 bands now. So at my highest, there was 7 bands I was playing in. And, it just teaches you to be disciplined and focused and show up on time and just be quiet and be pleasant and play the best you can. And with all these gigs I do, what makes it easy is I just try to play really simple, clean, clear stuff. I just simplify everything and it kind of works. So there you go. That's about all I know for now, but thanks for considering practicing that chord yoga. Just work through it at your own speed. And thanks again.